eat up to about 200 kgs, which is about 440 pounds in one day, and they can drink 100 liters of water. That is amazing. Hey, big boy. So elephants about that age, he's just over 20, I would guess. He's sort of 22, somewhere around there, are some of my favorite elephants because they're quite playful and they often come very close to us when we're on game drive. And there you can see what I say. They're very playful, the young boys at about that age. He might even go chase the hippos. That's what it looks like he's doing. He's going to cause trouble with the hippos. Watch out, hippos. There we go. He's going to try to be a submarine elephant. Well, let's get a little bit closer and a bit higher above him. But he is going straight for those hippos. See, that's why I say, that's why I love elephant boys of this age. They get very naughty. And he's being a bit of a bully. There, you can see that Mrs. Seabrook's class was wondering why aren't hippos afraid of elephants? They are. Look at him. And you can see just behind, he's chasing all the hippos. All the hippos have had to run off their nice spot where they were nice and comfortable. And he's just being a big bully. Now, the elephants, and you see all the impala running past the front of us, they also don't want him to chase them. Elephants will chase whatever they can when they want. Look at him, he's being such a silly. Oh, what a wonderful sighting. Now, we must always be careful when impala run like this. There's often leopard around this area, so I'm just making sure that they aren't going to run into the jaws. Oh, there's a little jump. Whoa, big jump. Isn't this amazing? Oh, off they go. This is amazing. Big herd of impala, and that's only half of them. Oh, the elephant's after the hippos again. Chasing the hippos. Run, hippos, run. Oh, and here comes the rest of the impala herd. Tenley would like to know, what type of food do elephants eat? Well, at this time of the year, this is our summer, which is obviously your winter, and you can see it's lovely and green all around. Here come the impala. Elephants, well, 80% of their diet will consist of grass, and only 20% of trees and bushes. But when we get into our winter, which is our dry season, the elephants switch their diet. So 80% of what they eat will be trees and bushes, and only 10%. Oh, listen to the hippos. The hippos complaining about the elephant chasing them off their sandbank. Oh, boom. Completely gone. Oh, sorry, Seb. I was not watching my monitor.
Where is he?
There he is. He was completely under the water. Look, he's after the hippo. There's a hippo just in front of him. Oh, he's nearly got him. He nearly got that hippo. That was close, hippo. Mrs. Seabrook's class is wondering, when do elephants start growing their tusks? So they have little baby tusks for the first year of their life, and then at about a year old, their tusks start growing. He's trying to find that hippo under the water again. He's being a very naughty elephant. He's going straight up. There's a whole bunch of hippo just in front of him. They've just popped under the water, and you can see there's the magnificent and wonderful Chitwa private game reserves lodge behind. I think that might even be my little brother on the deck. Oh, look at him, he's having the best time. It is, I think, my little brother. So my little brother is also a safari guide who works at Chitwa. But we're going to say goodbye to everyone from the schools, and hopefully we'll see you on your very own safari soon. So have fun. But quickly, we're going to go back to the elephant chasing hippos. Oh, he's nearly caught one. Oh, run, hippos. And here we go. Out onto the island. Let's see if he does. And they are doing what lions do at this time of day. They are nice and flat. And it is hot. So they are not going to be going anywhere. So I'm going to do this last little segment here with them and then maybe go off and find a few more interesting things. And then we can maybe come back here after dark. Rumpa, very good question. Climate change, has it had an impact on the weather systems? Well, I think so. In my personal experience, we're getting rain later in the season as opposed to earlier. And we're also getting out of season rain. So we're getting rain in June and July, which is not common in these areas. But I do speak from my own experience. I haven't looked at any databases to see these stats, but normally we get rain from about September, but October normally, and then all the way through to February, March. Now we're seeing the rain is only coming in late December, maybe even January, and then it's maybe lasting a bit longer, and then we're also getting out of season rain in our winter months, which is classic characteristic of savannas is a summer rainfall. So getting rain in the winter months is just not right. So temperatures also fluctuating, but I'd have to look at some more statistics. But through my own experience, I feel there has been a change, and it is going to get worse. So those of you out there who don't believe in climate change, I think it is important to pay attention to the drivers. And the thing that is most noticeable about climate change is the birds. Because what birds are doing is birds are respondent to temperature and food. And so when a bird is migrating, it leaves Europe because of the temperature, and then leaves South Africa because of the temperature. Now birds are leaving Europe later, and they're arriving in South Africa later, and they're also leaving South Africa later. So they're moving mainly because of temperature and then also food resource. So that is a very interesting aspect to look at for climate change, is birds and how they're moving. They're doing lots of work on that at the moment. It's quite a new science. So yeah, there were no carmines that I saw this year. The European bee-eaters are still here. A lot of the breeding migrants, or the migrants from Europe, are still here, but we'll see. We'll note when they leave, but there is a noticeable change in the dates that they're arriving and the dates when they're leaving Europe. So Europe is not as cold as it was, or getting colder later. So these are noticeable things that scientists are able to look at, and birds, because they can move. Obviously lions or trees and plants can't really move. The lions can move with response to the savanna biome itself, but they can't just pack up and leave and go to North Africa. That's quite a journey, but birds can. So it's something to watch, and let's have a look at the smallest member of the Nks Pride playing with, who I think is Amber Eyes. This could end badly. She doesn't like little cubs. Winter Rain wants to know what colour lions' eyes are. Well, most of them are a bit of a golden colour, and in the name of Amber Eyes, she has got very amber coloured eyes. But they are a beautiful amber golden colour. The majority, I never noticed the difference in lions' eyes until I came here and I was told of a lion by the name of Amber Eyes. So I'm not sure if they change between areas, if you get different coloured eyes all over the place. It's not something I've really noticed in my life, but very, very orangey golden colour. Beautiful, beautiful eyes. Jaden wants to know how other lions get accepted into pride. They don't actually, Jaden. The pride of lions consists of a female or females, a set of females with their offspring who are invariably females, and then obviously the grannies, and then the daughters grow up to become the adults. And I've never noticed or ever heard a story of a group of lions accepting another lioness from another pride. I know John Varty years ago tried to re-establish or try to reintroduce a lioness he'd rehabilitated, and I think it nearly died, or it actually got killed by the lions. I can't remember the end of that, but it was not successful. Males will come and go, and they need to prove themselves in the pride for the females to accept them from a mating point of view. But females are, unless there's a story out there, I've never heard of a female lioness or other lionesses being accepted into the pride of other lionesses, because they are genetically the same and they live for each other. It's all about their genes going forward, and any other lioness is seen as severe competition and will be dispatched if necessary. Sounds quite violent. It is. It can be. Lions fighting can be one of the most dramatic things out in the African bush.
So from our serene sighting of these beautiful large cats, let's go to Scotty D with one of the most beautiful animals on the property.
Even though we can hardly see her, and she's just kind of lounging about in the shade, Senzo and I were just saying how nice it would be if we could offer to take off her fur coat for her on such a hot day. She could walk around in the nude. It would be far more comfortable. But, alas, we cannot do that. And it'd be really interesting to know how hot they're actually feeling. I can't even comprehend how hot she must be with that fur coat. Panting away, and on top of that she's got quite a full belly, which will be further making her a little bit more uncomfortable. Now, just like Steve, I was kind of contemplating leaving the sighting, but I think I'm actually going to sit tight. You know, we don't know when she might move again. We don't know what the cub might start doing, and if the cub might start getting a little bit active sooner than an adult ordinarily would on such a hot day. So we're probably just going to stay put for the time being. We are also quite close to Steve, and the Buffalo's Hook Dam. So if I did leave here, that's where I would go, but I'm guessing that's where Steve is going to go when he leaves the Lions, so I don't think it'll make too much sense. Kathy, you agree with me regarding poor old Thandi, and you can see she's panting very hard, trying to cool herself down.
He's on a mission.
Smile, Brenty.
Big Ellie. Oh, so lovely. Now, when he gets a bit further away, I'll go put my foot in his track. So he's an adult bull, and probably over 30 years old, not too old yet. And he's decided he's going to Torchwood.
Patience has paid off, and the cub has literally just come onto the scene, and it's now getting pampered by Mom. How cool is this? What an absolute treat. Who knows how long they've been apart for? I mean, they were definitely together this morning, but sometimes mothers will kind of banish their youngsters during the heat of the day when they just need some time to themselves. Or it could have been that the Impala came onto the scene. Oh, what does this cub want? Does it want some milk? Or is it getting impatient and restless there? Still very hot, everyone. Even though it's 5:20 in the afternoon, it is baking. So, to be honest, I'm actually quite surprised to see them getting active already. And it was only due to the fact that Mom called the cub a number of times that the cub actually came out. Instead, it's still kind of half asleep. It can often be very, very playful, and I'm guessing it is going to become a lot more playful as the evening progresses. Sure, you're getting a proper clean here now. As we came onto the scene, it was difficult to have a good look, but it appears like the kill is in kind of two portions almost. We've seen a tiny bit of fur on one side of us and the majority of the carcass on the other side, but there definitely is still a little bit of meat that remains, so I'm sure they're going to chomp down on that a little bit later. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Okay, well, because this is such a wonderful moment, we are thinking of possibly inviting on some other viewers. You can see we parked in the bushes here. So, let's hello, Alan. You'd like to know how old is this little cub now? We're not sure of the exact day that it was born. Sometimes the guides do get lucky enough to know information as precise as that. And I think I stand to be corrected But I think the kind of guesstimate period is around the 10th of November. If they get angry enough, they will kind of often charge the vehicle, and at that point in time, we will move off and give them the space that they require. Now, it sounds like the cub has come to investigate what's going on with the remains of the kill. Oh, yeah, it's got it. You can see, not very well though, that it's got a portion of the baby Inyala that it's trying to snack on. You would have just seen one of the Inyala's limbs there. There you are, you little cutie. And often what young leopards will do is they'll play with their food, no different to young humans, I guess, and kind of practice attacking it and wrestling it and biting it on the throats. Oh, you can keep an eye on us. We're keeping an eye on you, you little cutie. Veronica, you would like to know where will Thandi hide her cub when she goes off hunting? From this age, just about anywhere she can stash the cub. It doesn't necessarily need to be in a burrow or a cave or a cavity in a tree. The cubs from this age are capable of climbing into trees, so it can just be left in a thicket, so to speak. It could be left in an area just like where we are now. Lots of bush, lots of long grass, little trees that it can climb up if it needs to escape hyena. This is the first time I've ever seen it chewing on meat, guys. Now, even though it has... Oh, that's a nice big mouthful. You're going to grow up to be a monster if you keep eating like this. And it has been seen feasting on meat, I mean, as far back as a month ago, possibly even slightly longer. But this is my first sighting, and aren't we so lucky that we can snipe a little gap straight through all these bushes as we see it doing so, keeping a beady eye on us, as it does. And it's very important that we do spend time with the young animals here and make them realize that we as humans are not a threat to them, and that all we want to do is spectate, because that allows us this incredible insight into their lives. Leopards are ordinarily very, very shy and nervous, and they will often shy away from humans unless they are habituated. Super Mike or Super Bike, I'm not too sure, but you know who you are. You would like Super Bike. You would like to know if we know who this cub's father is, and we don't know for 100%, but we believe strongly that it's a male leopard called Tingana. He's sadly kind of on the way out. It appears he's getting quite old, and there's a new young male that arrived on the scene in December that seems to be pushing him out of his territory. And the fact that this new male is coming onto the old male's territory is a huge, huge threat to this little cub that we're looking at now, because leopards will kill cubs that they did not father, because it of course will release the mother of the responsibility of raising the cub, and in this case she would be raising it for at least another year before she could mate again. So rather than waiting all that time, they just kill the cub and then they can mate within a few weeks. The female cats, or especially the leopards, will come into season very quickly after losing cubs. And the reason why we're not 100% sure that it is Tingana is what leopardess will often do is mate with multiple males. So rather than just mating with one male, if they mate with a few of the dominant males of the general area, that means that any of them kind of come across her and their cub, it means that they will all believe that they are the father. So on a number of occasions we've had the same leopard mating with 2 or 3 males, not necessarily that we've seen, but that we've got reports of. Okay, well, we're going to stay put where we are, and what a magical scene it is. I can't see where Mom has gone, so she may also be heading closer towards the kill for a snack. We'll be sure to keep you updated and send you back over to Brent for an update on his adventures.
Sorry about the gremlins, folks. We have found the baby again, and it's sticking its entire face in the water to drink because it doesn't know how to use its trunk. You just missed it doing 2 head dunks into the water because mum is using her trunk, and the baby doesn't know how to use the trunk yet, so it sticks its whole face in the water, but it can't judge it very well, so the eyes go underwater as well. It's absolutely marvelous. I saw this lady last night with her baby, again this morning, and now again. So, you see, because the baby is quite small, Mom can't go very far at all. So she basically was at Buffelshoek Dam last night, and then she's been probably meandering from pan to puddle all the way down. We are now at Twin Dams, which is on the southern boundary from where we are, and she can only move as fast as the baby can go. And that's probably why we don't see the rest of the herd with her. You see that baby's legs are still really struggling to walk. Okay, I've got 4 legs now. Let's go left, right. Oh, now I've got back ones as well. Oh, hang on. There we go, left. Oh, left again, right. Oh, my word. I've got 4 feet. What is this thing hanging from my face as well? I've seen a baby stand in its trunk before, and it got quite startled. It didn't quite know what to do. Oh, there it's doing it. What is this thing? Oh, it's a little bit muddy there. Are you going to go back in the water, little one? Are you going to go back in the water? Isn't that just precious? It is so precious. Is a very big mother, that. A very big elephant cow. I'm sure she's had many babies in her life. She's very relaxed. You can see the streamers on the side of her head. That's just got to do with probably some heat stress. To do with the fact that she's having to feed quite heavily to provide enough milk for this very newborn baby, who is more interested in its trunk than anything else. Slowly it'll figure out how to work those legs at the same time. There we go, Mama. Oh, hello. Back into the water. Oh, little unsteady. Carla B and everyone else there, I don't think this baby is more than a few days, if a week, not even. It's brand spanking. I mean, you could just tell by the legs. The legs, it has no idea how to use its legs. Well, it's quite good at lowering its face into the water. You can just see the common sandpiper in the front of the screen there, bobbling its little bottom. Quite a nice 2-shot of the sandpiper with the cutest animal just behind it. CNAC wants to know if baby elephants are vulnerable. Sometimes they can be. They can be. Like this elephant cow on her own with this youngster could potentially be in trouble against something like the Umkuhumas. If they happen to separate that calf from mum, they could potentially deal it a fatal blow. But she would be very aggressive towards them. I mean, she was there last night and they were in the area, and maybe that's why she's moved as far south as she has. Scuba Ellie. So yes, it could potentially be at risk to large predators. That's why elephants in a herd are much safer, because if the cow chases off lions this way, any lions approaching from the other side would be able to tackle the baby. I have seen it before, but I have also seen the elephants always successfully chasing the lions away. She is a big female. She would not tolerate the presence of lions, but because she's on her own, there could be a little bit of risk there, because it wouldn't take too long if the lions pulled that baby down to deal a very bad injury to it, that even if mom chased them off, the baby might not be able to get back up from. Because very unsteady on the legs. It's unsteady on the boulders there. It's actually quite flat, but there's a few little divots in the ground from mud where animals have walked when the dam was a little bit fuller. See how mum has her toilet and then just waits? She's very casual with this youngster. She knows the youngster can only walk so fast, so she's got to take her time. Avon.
Feels like she's bringing you a gift. So Pradeep, no, I'm sorry if I don't think I continued answering your question because I nearly ran over Thandi. Wouldn't have been very popular. So I don't think the cub will necessarily choke. Of course, there is a small chance. Oh, here it comes. How cool is this? What a scene. It's so big and you're so strong. You're practicing to be a big adult leopard. Practicing your carcass dragging skills, and it's very important for leopards to be able to drag carcasses because they often don't necessarily make the kill next to a tree. Oh, she's got close to Mom now, and it looks like she may come over to say hello. Hello, isn't this wonderful? And I think this would now be a good time for us to possibly welcome on board some extra viewers. So this is just too special not to share with as many people as possible. If you guys would like to be so kind and pick up your phones and phone a friend and tell them to log on, we would appreciate that too. Looks like I think it's going back to the kill. Maybe it's going to drag it a little bit closer to Mom again. I hope she does. We'll have such a great view from here. Changed her mind. Okay, I'm just going to keep quiet for a second just before we have to welcome on the others. Hello everyone, and welcome to this live safari coming to you from the Sabi Sands in South Africa. As you can see, we've got a tiny little leopard cub. She's just gone about 4 months of age, and her and her mother are busy enjoying lounging about. Oh, where's Mom gone? Oh, there's Mom. And they've got a kill. There you can see Mom's carrying a antelope. It was a baby Inyala that they caught, and we just couldn't resist welcoming you guys on board to see this awesome scene unfold. We've been very, very lucky in that we've followed the life of this cub quite closely since it was born, and it's been absolutely fascinating to see how it's grown and developed and matured over the last few months. Very good. Well, my name's Scott, and like I said, this is a live safari. If you don't believe that it's live, just question us and we'll get back to you immediately to solve that problem. And like I said, we would love to hear from you. Send through as many questions and comments as you can. Just pop them in the comment box below. Now, it is a little bit tricky. It's quite thick here. It's summer here in South Africa, and it's very, very lush after we've got some much needed rains a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, we do. We are about... Well, we're about to be less than a meter away from elephants. We have elephants all around us. Look at this. So there's the side of the car, and you can see they're very relaxed, munching on the grass. Hey you. Look at that. Here we go. That is pretty much as close as you can get to an elephant. That's Seb's hand there. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that absolutely incredible? Now, it is very, very special to spend time with Ellies like this. And you can see they're not showing any signs of aggression whatsoever. We've let them come towards us. We've parked away from them, so we haven't forced ourselves into their space. We've let the elephants come, and they're going to carry on walking right past us. And here we go. But watch out, you might get flicked by the tail there, Sebastian. Ravinda says, wow, too close for comfort. Well, Ravinda, depends on the elephants always, and these elephants, before we got to them, they showed no signs of being upset or whatnot. And if you stay calm, the elephants will come right up to you like this, and you can see she's got no interest in us whatsoever. She knows we're here. She can hear me talking. And as long as you drive carefully and respectfully, you can enjoy these incredible moments with elephants. However, if you are not experienced at dealing with elephants in a vehicle, and you're driving yourself around a reserve, yes, by all means you should keep your distance, rather than getting too close, because obviously we've been doing this for a very long time. I've been doing this, well, with my dad since I was about 4 years old. My earliest memory is actually of elephants, so I'm being very spoiled. Have they moved away that I can move the car? Yes. I just want to go forward. There's a tiny little baby who's being quite cute.